So today we're gonna learn the parts of a unit circle, and so I just want to say that this is my first video and hope it goes well. So let's begin. So a unit circle is a circle with a radius of 1. Radius is equal to 1. Now we're gonna start filling up the angles here. This angle right here is theta. It's equal to 30 degrees. This angle here is 30 degrees. Now this angle right here, that's a 15-degree angle, which is half of this. So 30 degrees plus 15 degrees, that's going to give us a 45 degree. Now if we add another 15 degrees, that's going to give us a 60 degree. And we know that this is a right angle right here, and that's a 90-degree angle. And now if we divide 90 by 2, that's going to give us this line right here, which is the 45-degree angle. Now we know that if we add 90 degrees to 90, that's going to give us 180. And if we add another 90, that's going to give us a 270. And if we add another 90, that's going to give us a 360 degree, which is a whole revolution. And we can add more, like for example here 90 plus another 30, which is this angle here, it's going to give us a 120. And if we add 15, that's 135. And if we add another 15, that's 150. And we do the same for the rest of it. So I'm going to fill up the rest of it. So in trigonometry, or in the unit circle, we use radians to measure angles. And a radian, it's basically, if I was to measure this, which is 1, and wrap it around the circle, it would go about to here. And this is the same length as the radius. Now if I was to connect this part to the middle of the circle, that would give me theta, or an angle, which would be equal to 57 point something degrees. It's a 57 point something, I can't remember. And so we know that pi is equal to 180, and we use this conversion factor, which is pi over 180, to convert degrees to radians, or we can use 180 over pi to convert radians to degrees. So let's try with 30 degrees. So we have 30 degrees times pi over 180 degrees. Now this is basically saying, what's 30 divided by 180? That's going to give you 1/6, and we still are left with pi. And what's pi times 1? That's pi over 6. Now we know that 30 degrees is equal to pi over 6, and we know that if we divide 30 by 2, that's going to give us a 15-degree angle. So to get this equal to 15 degrees, we're going to divide pi over 6 by 2, which is the same as doing pi over 6 times 1/2, and that gives us pi over 12, which pi over 12 is equal to 15 degrees. Now this is 30 degrees, and if we add 15 to 30 degrees, that's going to give us 45. So let's add pi over 12 to get 45 degrees. So we gotta have the same denominator, so we multiply by 2, and we have 2 pi over 12 plus pi over 12. Now we have 3 pi over 12, and if we simplify, that gives us pi over 4, which is equal to 45 degrees. And if this is 45 and we add another 15 degrees, that's going to give us a 60-degree angle, but in radians. So let's do it. Pi over 4 plus pi over 12, and we multiply by 3 to have the same denominator. 3 pi plus pi, which is equal to 4 pi over 12, and that gives us pi over 3. And now we know that 180 is equal to pi. So if we divide 180 by 2, that's going to give us 90 degrees. Now we got to do the same to pi. So we have pi over 2 is equal to 90. And we just add more radians. For example, we add pi over 6 to pi over 2 to get this angle here in radians, and we do the same for every angle. So I'm gonna fill up this. So now we have this whole thing filled up. So now let's convert radians to degrees. So let's try pi, which is 180. So pi, and we're gonna use this one over here because we want degrees. So 180 over pi. That's bad handwriting. And pi is equal to pi over 1. So pi's cancel, and we are left with 180 over 1, which is 180 degrees. And it checks out.